Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today I'm back with another video here. So the Flyers lose 3-0 at home in a trap game against the San Jose Sharks. Sharks were 1-6 coming into this one. They didn't have a single player over 2 goals on the season, and they only scored 12 as a team. And the Flyers were 4-1-0 in their last 5, scored 17 goals. They were, coming off of back-to-back, so was San Jose. Kind of, it's the game really, it wasn't the best from the Flyers. It was just very frustrating because they couldn't get anything to the net, and it was just weird. Like, they weren't really able to create much offense outside of the third period where they put up 17 shots. And there's a benching in the third. Hayes and Konechny don't see the ice once. And then I'll talk about that. As for the first period, the Flyers had a chance right off the jump from D'Angelo, and Torts talked about that post game. And he basically mentioned, if that goes in, that could be a difference maker or whatever. I thought the Flyers, again, it was a pretty even period. So the Sharks had some looks, Flyers had some looks. D'Angelo had a pretty bad giveaway, which forced Samson to make a good save. I thought the pairing in general looked pretty good for the game. D'Angelo had a couple turnovers here and there, but obviously it's not going to be perfect all the time. And, Sandstrom is still looking for his first NHL win. And Flyers had a couple looks in the first, so did San Jose. I thought the Flyers did a good job. At least the forwards were at least getting back and helping in those areas. And end of the first period, shots were 9-7 in favor of the Flyers. Again, they had their looks, so did San Jose. Sandstrom made some good saves. But in general, pretty even period overall. Second period in the Flyers, no JVR. He ends up getting hurt in the first. There was no update on him post-game. And there wasn't really much going on early for either team, kind of waiting for somebody to step up for the Flyers. Sharks get a power play. They didn't do anything with it. Flyers had a good penalty kill. Lawton had a breakaway, which was a good move. He already scored backhand 5-hole on a shorthanded attempt, and he scored high glove side on a shorthanded attempt breakaway. And he went with the backhand 5-hole move here, and he didn't score. Really nice save from Reimer. Outside of that, Sandstrom had a nice save on a point shot, but it was a pretty good kill for the Flyers. They were able to kill that one off and get a couple clears too. Flyers would get a power play and would score, but this would be called back. And usually this was the turning point in the game, because usually when you score a goal and it maybe it gets waved off, you kind of have more of that energy. It's like, all right, let's get that right back. They just didn't have that. The second unit comes out, they didn't do anything, and then the Sharks were in the Flyer zone for maybe two minutes, and then Carlson scores off of a bullet. Turnover outside of the line by Hayes. That has to get out. It was a tough break because you think you're up 1-0 in a game where you're kind of getting there a little bit, and you finally you score first again for the second time for the second game in a row, and it ends up getting called back. So it's kind of unfortunate. Flyers obviously had to switch up the lines a little bit because of Noah Van Riemsdyk, and there was a good shift here it was Noah Cates with Lawton and Konechny. Provorov had a nice shot to the net, but they just couldn't get any clean looks. Everything they did in that second period, and even in the third, Reimer was right there to save it. The Flyers had a 3-on-1, they just didn't do anything with it. Pass from Konechny goes over the stick of Farabee. Sharks score again with around a minute or so, a minute and a half, 2 minutes left. And it just kind of floated in, looked like it could have been high stick. It wasn't, deflected in, and just a bad period. They only had 5 shots. Couldn't get anything going. I mean, just the Sharks were just winning every battle and moving it quick up the ice, and the Flyers just couldn't stop it. I mean, they had no answer for the Sharks' breakout, and they ended up getting 2 goals, and no Hayes, no Konechny. So that's really what I want to talk about from the third. The Flyers had 17 shots. They had some looks, and they didn't really do much. You have 17 shots, and with Hayes and Konechny playing, you maybe score 1 or maybe at least tie the game. I don't really agree with the benching, honestly. You're at the point, you're still in that game. I think that's the understanding of that is you're still in the game. It's only 2-0. San Jose's a pretty fragile team. They're coming off of a back-to-back, the same thing you're coming off of. Obviously, less travel because the Sharks are coming from New Jersey, but still. Torts said they have to learn how to play in back-to-backs, and I agree with that. I think for back-to-backs, they have to play better. I don't know. I just didn't really agree with the benching. It's pretty early in the season. I understand it's not all going to be about wins and losses and the whole thing, right? But I think for me it was more of sending a message, but also, you already down. You already lost a forward, and you were down however many guys already with Tippett, Atkinson, Couturier, no Risto. So you basically played 8 forwards in the third, and again, I just don't really agree with it because you're at the point where it's like you were still in that game, and you didn't have as many looks, but your team came out pretty energized and had some looks in the third. I thought Frost made a couple nice plays. He obviously had the breakaway. If he scores there, maybe you're able to pull the goalie and get another one, but they weren't able to do that, and they had 2 break. I mean, the Flyers had chances tonight to score in this game, and they didn't. And not a good second period, and I think really what Torts was kind of saying was it wasn't really anything like mentally. It was more of like, it wasn't really anything physically. It was just the turnovers have been killing them, and they were kind of groggy mentally. And he's not going to look at this and kind of look over the good week they had, because again, the Flyers did have a good week. I mean, they beat Tampa Bay, they beat Nashville. They had some good games. This was probably the worst game they've played so far. So move on. You got a couple days off day tomorrow, and then you take on Florida on Thursday. The schedule doesn't get any easier. You have Florida, Carolina, the Rangers, Toronto, St. Louis coming up. You have a lot of tough teams coming up, and again, I'm not sure about the benching. Again, I want to talk about them because it's. I just didn't think it was the right timing. I don't really think Hayes or Konecny really deserved that. Obviously, it was, turnovers that kind of led to that, right? And just kind of, bad plays. But, if that goal stands, it's a completely different game, and the Flyers just weren't able to get it tonight. And I don't think Torts was very happy with their performance. They thought they suck. So we'll see what happens coming up. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember the podcast is going to be announcing a couple things with that soon. Flyers end up losing tonight 3-0 to San Jose. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're still on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so click that subscribe button if you like this video. Please like, share, all that stuff. Always do appreciate that. And I'll talk to you all again soon.